Diagnosis is really shocking, and it makes you walk around in a weird cloud of a bunch of different emotions.
First I looked at it and I thought, oh, I'm going through this treatment, I'm going to spend the next 6 months in bed.
I think it's important to recognize how expected it is that it's confusing at the beginning, that you don't know what you're getting into. It's a brand new experience, and it's so understandable that it gets scary, that you feel confused.
Yeah, having had the experience either as a patient or as a spouse or a family member or a close friend, the diagnosis affects everyone.
Why I chose to work here is I have a son who had leukemia when he was 3, and he was treated with chemo for 3 years, and I know what it's like to go through what a lot of the patients are going through.
And just the gentleness in the eyes of all the nurses, and the way that people understand that cancer doesn't only affect one person, and it doesn't only affect their bodies, but it affects their relationships and their families and their support systems, and we understand that here.
One of the most important changes that we made after opening the new cancer center was to institute what we call the 48-hour promise. This is a promise or a guarantee that new patients diagnosed with cancer are able to come and visit with an oncologist within 48 hours of that diagnosis.
So that hopefully we can take some of the anxiety and the worry and shoulder it with them. Not that we're going to be able to take it completely away, but that we can start the process of dealing with their diagnosis and moving forward.
Park Nicollet made things happen in a really timely manner, and they had me in my first surgery in about 10 days after that diagnosis. And in that time I'd seen a whole suite of doctors that were all working together and talking to each other, and it was really amazing.
Every step of the way, our new care process, as we designed it and developed it, we had patient input and had patients as part of the design team.
Prior to the new cancer center, we were split between 2 campuses. So patients would have to go to one center one day and another center another day, depending on what treatment they needed, and sometimes in the same day, and they would go back and forth and back and forth.
We observed this, started to talk with patients about the care process, and learned from them that there were a number of things that we could improve to continue providing excellent care, but to do it in a way that would help them conserve their energy for the things that they need their energy for, things that they wanted to use their energy for.
The lab comes to them, the schedulers come to them, the providers come to them, the nurses come to them. Everybody comes to them so that they don't have to, especially if they're not feeling well that day, they don't have to pick up and move from one location to another.
You just go sit in your chair, they bring you a warm blanket, they plug you in, and there's muffins and coffee out there. I mean, there's a flat screen TV, there's music. I mean, it's very comfortable.
From the minute you walk in the front door of the cancer center, it's kind of all about you. At least you feel like it's all about you. You do.
We're trying to build a cancer center, but much more than just a building. We were trying to build a program that was supportive of patients, and I think we were very successful, right down to designing a chair in the treatment rooms.
Feels like a big lounge chair when you come in, and then when it's time for the exam, it can fold out flat into an exam table, and you can have the exam there, and then when the exam is over, it goes back into a lounge chair with a heated seat.
When they ask for input, they really mean it and have demonstrated through the decisions that they've made that they really care about the patient experience.
Maybe 10 years ago I wouldn't even be here by now, or I wouldn't look the way I'm looking right now. And it's a matter of their experience and just the way they prioritized everything they were doing with me that I'm here and I'm back at work and I'm with my family.
I work in the travel industry and I escort tours, and they were able to arrange my chemo treatments. So I was able to go to Norway for 2 weeks with my group. I was able to go to Spain twice. So it didn't really affect my life at all.
I can't praise them highly enough.
I can't imagine another facility that would be more complete and more beautiful and offer as much for cancer patients as this.
The new cancer center would not be here if it wasn't for the generosity of patients offering their time and their suggestions along the way, and countless numbers of patients and their families supported us through their donations and philanthropy. The Cancer Center, in large part, is here today because of this generosity.
It's an unfortunate situation that we have to be in, but we've got a great place to be.